With Ravnica Remastered getting closer by the day, players are more concerned about Shockland prices than ever before. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what has happened with Shockland since the collapse 2 months ago, and what we can expect to see from these individual lands going forward after the release of Ravnica Remastered. Stick around, we have a lot to talk about. When players think about Ravnica Remastered, they're talking and thinking about Shocklands. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. A reminder, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. New content every single day. Now let's talk about these Shocklands, because yes, you've got great cards coming out inside Ravnica Remastered. We've got Cyclonic Rift, we've got Teferi the Time Reveler. You got lots of card options. But for most players, the prices of Shocklands are paramount. They want to know what is going on with them, how far they are going to fall, and what the actual prices are going to be when they start to recover, if they're going to fall at all. We have a lot to cover in today's video. First off, 2 months ago, I did a video discussing the collapse, because remember, we had that massive surge of sales of everyone dumping cards onto the market. And they were being picked up by a lot of stores readily. Even here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, we had tons of stores accepting the buy list, buying them for like $8, $9 a pop. So where does that stand today, and what is going on? Well, if you watch that video, if you go and take a look 2 months ago, you just type in MTG Moxman Shocklands. I did a video on it talking about the collapse of the prices. And in that video, I had this screenshot. This is a current screenshot of Watery Grave from Gatecrash, because those were the cheapest ones. And you can see here it's going an average of $11.68. And those 2 months ago, it was 13 and change. So as you can see, it has definitely fallen in price. We have seen the price trending down on this card the closer we get to Ravnica Remastered. But what does that mean for the rebound? Because in that last video, I had counsel to everyone, in my opinion, to hold on to your Shocklands, because you're always going to use them. They're going to be utilized in so many decks and formats that you probably should just hold on to what you have. Because the idea that a premium price product was going to make these things that much cheaper was something a lot of players were kind of hedging their bets was going to happen. And now we know the price of the product. We know kind of where the slot is going to fall. They're still rare. You know, the expectations and the different full art foils, retro frame foils, all that craziness in there. And as we get closer, players are still betting that it's going to be cheaper. That is the rumor mill going, that they're expecting these cards to continue to fall. But here's the interesting side note that a lot of you may have already looked up. The prices aren't falling anymore, really. They're kind of stabilizing and balancing out. The buy list here in Canada, if you look around, you're going to find cards like Watery Grave are going to be bought up for around $9 Canadian, which is like what, $7? Like $6.90 or so US for a copy of Watery Grave from Gatecrash. That's what you're going to, be able to sell it to a store for cash. For trade, you're going to get a little bit more, about 20% more. It's interesting to see that the stores are still accepting them. They're still taking them in whenever players are offering them, because most stores know that a higher priced product, the collector boxes being the price point they're at, the chance for getting the Shocklands being a big thing for players, they want to get them if they can, they're going to love it, but it'll be that gambler's premium to even try, which means a lot of players are going to shy away or just downright not order it. We know pre-release orders are massively down on this product. We know all the cards inside, so now players are really making that firm decision whether to buy it or not buy it. So when you think about the prices falling on a card, and you've seen there's been a glut on the market that's slowly being absorbed by the stores and sitting on their shelves, the new product coming in looks like it's not going to be opened a lot other than at pre-release. Remember, that pre-release weekend, there's going to be a ton of packs opened, because the pre-release pricing for Ravnica Remastered is actually fairly decent. I did a video yesterday on that, talking about how that'll be the one real saving grace for this product, is pre-release pricing, and what you get dollar value type thing, entertainment value, is really on par with going to a movie and popcorn. So I think those are going to do very well. which means that initial weekend you'll probably see a lot of Shocklands hit the market from random packs being opened. But after that 15, 20 days after, what is going to happen is you can expect to see a solidification of prices. I really don't think they're going to drop more than another 5%, a buck maybe. Maybe, depending on that land. But the real changing for players who want to get these lands are going to be the Galaxy. The ones from Infinity, which was a horrible set, I didn't care about it, but those lands are pretty awesome looking. And those ones there may fall another 20% from where they are right now, just because the fear that will enter the market about new shiny pretty things entering, and that the old stuff now looks kind of bland, which of course a lot of players will still find those cards beautiful to look at and want to buy them for their decks. They're willing to bling stuff out. So I'm going to find this a very interesting little movement of the market in which people who just want the cards are going to buy Gatecrash versions, the cheapest ones they can find. Players who have been looking to bling out their deck are going to be willing to buy them if they can save a few bucks. If they can get a few dollars off, that's always happened in the past, because they will consider it a deal. They may even trade in some Shocklands to work toward bigger Shocklands just for a straight up exchange. But for anyone who listened and didn't sell their lands, you can see you didn't lose a lot. You didn't trade up or trade down. That little tiny margin of error is so minor in what the pricing difference is now that it really wasn't worth selling. And it really shows in the data that holding on to your cards in this case, especially a mana-based card which you know you're going to be using, you really didn't lose anything. And overall, I think the prices after this are probably going to go back to where they were. It's going to be fairly stable, and that's because the price point, the tightening print run probably is what's going to be attributed to it, the allocation numbers being down, and the actual pre-orders being next to zero. That can still change. We may see an upshift the closer we get, but I'm actually seeing a lot of sales of Ixalan singles, as well as a few individual cards actually taking the place of where I would normally see pre-release orders right now. So this is all going to be a little bit of a twist for players who are used to getting their way and getting that cheaper card. You might find individual ones that are kind of beat up at a cheaper price, but most players are going to be kind of shocked. Shockland shock, yeah, you get it, to see that the price isn't going to shift too much. And that stores who did buy these things didn't put them on discount. They're just sitting in the rack. They're sitting on store shelves, and other LGSs that are actually trying to buy Shocklands have actually told me nobody else is selling them right now. They're not really being traded in quantity anymore. They're just kind of being held by the players because players probably realize that it's not going to be the biggest shift that people thought it was going to be. Those lands do have a certain value, and Wizards probably wants that value to stay at a certain level, it looks like. Interesting either way to see how it'll play out. But for me, looking at the amount of sales I've seen, which was huge 2 months ago, it has been trending down the closer we get. Instead of seeing 100 or 200 sales a day or within a week period, for depending on which type of Shockland we're talking about, you can see it going to like 5, 10, which is like 80, 90 a week. It's really slowing down the closer we get to the holidays and the closer, of course, to the release in January for Ravnica Remastered. So if you're a person who wants to buy some of these cards, keep a close eye out. Wait for that initial glut that'll hit on the weekend of the pre-release. You'll see a whole bunch of people probably trade some stuff in. That will probably, to me, be the best opportunity to get the lowest price is somewhere about 12 to 20 days after that, when stores maybe have a little bit of an overstock going on because they've already been buying this stuff. But don't expect any deep discounts. I don't think they're going to $5 at all. If I'm proved wrong, absolutely awesome, but I don't see it playing out that way right now in what I've seen out there. So if you know some stuff that I don't know, send me an email, drop some stuff out there, put some slamming comments down there, and share that information with everyone here on the channel. And of course, if you're an LGS and you want to get some information, you want to pass some information on to me, don't forget to hit me up at alang@hotmail.com. Always happy to get more info on what's going on in the local LGS scene all around the country, US, Canada, wherever you are in the world. I love to find out more information. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. Thanks a lot for hanging out with the Moxman. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for our top 10 hottest selling cards on Saturday, and the Sunday hottest selling cards on the reserve list. A little bit of a surprise twist so far this weekend. We'll see if it pans out on Sunday. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. A big shout out and thank you to the wonderful, fantastic, amazing patrons we have on the channel supporting each and every day. That's why you see all these amazing names flying by. So thanks again to all my supporters out there. Have an awesome day today. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. We got the coffee in hand. It's like 3/4 full. I know. Crazy, right? Coffee. The Shockland thing is kind of shocking. To see those sales really slow down this way, and to see the trends we're seeing in the market space of what's being sold and not sold, and how things are moving, is very fascinating, because I really expected a few more dumps of people getting rid of Shocklands. It's totally just kind of stopping, and people are actually buying some right now. And a lot of stores have it on wish lists, which is kind of crazy. You know, players want to buy certain ones and can't find them. Interesting, right? Interesting that everyone's looking for a deal on those. They're hoping they go cheaper, but they may not get their wish. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, at the end here, I have another little video clip from Arena. Kind of fun. I can't help it. I've been trying this thing out. Works fairly well. I didn't do the whole video. It would be too long. These matches are like 30, 40 minutes each, but I just took that trail end clip again. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll talk about it on the live stream on Sunday. All right? Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the day. I'm going to go finish making dinner.